Welcome to another episode of the Journey to Goal Zone podcast. I'm your host, Wallace Spearman Jr., and I love this next guest we got coming up, man. This is my guy. We got Jeremy Wariner about to handle his business on and off the track. You know how he got down. Welcome to the show, my man. What's happening?
Man, not much, man. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I appreciate it. Before we get started, we're gonna go over some of these accolades. I know you have what, 4 Olympic medals, three golds and 1 silver?
Three gold, 1 silver, and then 5 gold, 1 silver for Worlds.
6 World Championships medals. We got the '04 Olympic Trials champion, '05 USA Outdoor champ, 2005 World champ, '07 World champ, 2008 Olympic Trials, 400 meters silver, '08 Olympic Games silver, 2009 World Championship silver medal. My man has hardware for your butt. He has done it all. But say, talk to us, man. What you got going? I'm about to say,
man, I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Just a different atmosphere now, man. I'm coaching high school out in Texas still, in the North Dallas area. I'm at a new school this year. And some of the times we're running it's kind of surprising me, man. These kids are killing it. I think our 4x1 is ranked number 6 in the nation right now for all high school teams. So, they're showing out, man. It's great.
I saw some fast times coming out of Texas from high school relays. I think I saw like 2:38s, and then I think you all just shy of running 39 as well, right?
1:38.
Oh, okay.
38's 38.9, 38.8, I think, and then 39.7 was Duncanville,
and then you all right behind them, right?
Yeah, we're at 40.6. So everyone who ran out there, they were like, I think fourth place was like 40.4, 40.2.
Man, what do y'all feed these kids?
Man, I don't know, man. These kids are different these days when it comes to speed. It's crazy, man. Like to have two teams go sub 40 in one race, both from the state of Texas, is ridiculous.
We're going to get into that a little bit later, man. We're going to talk about you first. These kids can come second this time, just like the 400-meter race. We know who's getting that goal. So, man, we're going to dive into this right quick. So, I'll just go ahead and be honest with you. I think you are known as the anchor leg specialist. I definitely saw you do some work. I can just tell you right now, from my first time at NCAA championships, my coach grabbed me and said, "Come here." I was like, "What's going on?" And you'll have to forgive me, but this is my coach's words, not mine. "You got to watch this white guy run." I'm like, "What?" "Watch this 4x4. And y'all weren't doing so well in that 4x4 before the last 2 legs, if I recall, in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, we had an 800 guy on first leg, and he ran. Crazy thing was he popped off in the prelims with 45.4, and then the finals popped off with a 46.7. So we were in a big hole. Arizona State, they popped off with a 44.4. So we were way back. We had a freshman on second leg who ran prelims for the first time, 4x4 for the first time in the prelims all season. And then I was back in like 7th place when I got the stick up, and Arizona State had dropped the stick, and I just had to give it to Daryl as close to the lead as possible. Fortunately for me, it was in the lead when I gave it to him, and then Daryl just held on for that race, man. I think we would have ran faster if Daryl had somebody to go catch. The thing with Daryl, he always ran just enough to win. If he was behind somebody, he was going to catch you. I don't care how far back he was, Daryl's going to catch you. But you put him in the lead, and he's just going to do what he has to do to hold on to the lead. That's the type of runner Daryl was. But Daryl, you put Daryl behind, man, he's a scary guy to run against.
Walk down artist. I about to say, him and Jonathan Fortenberry. That's what they definitely were known for in college. Yep. And that was your last college or collegiate football for. You went pro that year in 04, didn't you?
Yep. After the games in 04, talked to MJ, talked to Coach Hart, and we agreed that it was best for me to move forward. And then the whole off season was the process of trying to figure out what shoe company we were going to go with. And then finally late December is when we decided and announced it. So, everything just kind of fell into place. Freshman year dealt with a lot of injuries, and after that, man, I got on the grind and made sure I was healthy. I stayed away from a lot of things. I didn't go partying. I didn't go drinking. I didn't do any of that stuff. My started
What?
my started my sophomore year, man. I got focused. I didn't. I I feel like a lot of the injuries came due to not being focused, not doing like taking care of my body on the back end, and I changed my sophomore year, and it worked, and I kept doing that. And then after '08, kind of went backwards a little bit. I started going back to went out after meets, and every now and then had started drinking a little bit every now and then after meets, and I think that kind of played a role in some of the downfall. But I still had the dedication. I still grinded hard. It was just I just didn't have what I had. I don't think I had the mental aspect that I had from '04 until '08. I wanted it, and then there was really nothing else except for the world record that I could do except repeat. But it just didn't happen, and it is what it is. I'm not mad at myself for it, but I feel like I could have gone faster than what I did.
Absolutely. So I'll say this: I got to rewind just a little bit because we're gonna pretend like this is not for me. Because yes, I am well aware, and I know before you all try to cancel me, but he referenced MJ, and so
Mm-hmm.
for some of you all who are a little younger, or for some of you all who maybe aren't true fans of the sport, you're just kind of getting into it, and no shame there, buckle up. But MJ stands for,
Michael Johnson,
and he's relevant because,
the world record holder in the four, the two.
but
Well,
pertaining to
four.
you,
Oh, he was my agent.
all
Yeah,
right,
my
and
mentor, my agent, and everything. So I got a chance to meet him in my sophomore year, going into the Olympic trials. Actually, he might have been at a couple. He might have came out to practice a couple times earlier that year, but really, first time we started talking was at the Olympic trials in '04, and he took me to the side and was like, "Just stay focused. Just do what you've been doing all year. Nothing's changed. It's just another meet, just a different name." And from that day forward, I kind of understood what that meant. I tell my kids now when we go to like state or district or Texas relays, it's the same thing as the same meets that we ran back in February. It's just a different name, different people competing, but it's nothing different. You got to take every meet the same. You can't take it as, oh, this is the biggest stage on the world. And, that kind of stuck with me my whole career, and it kind of helped a little bit.
man, well, I definitely feel like you have some jewels you can drop on a lot of people in this sport right now. But
Mm-hmm.
for today, we're going to take you all back down memory lane. We've already talked about '04, and I think we're going to go into '05 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, for the people who haven't seen you run, I think we have a video we might be able to play to we might queue up and have you walk us through it just a little bit.
Okay.
I think you did kind of well at the U.S. Championship that year.
Yeah, I came in. I think Daryl at the time Daryl Williamson had the fastest time coming into the meet. He had ran his collegiate season. I think I had only ran maybe two open quarters by that time. So I was still kind of like running into shape. You know how a lot of us professionals do. By the time USA comes, we're still not where the collegiates are. They've
We
been
were not
running
actually. I think we raced at Adidas in '05, huh?
all '06.
Okay, yeah, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
The history,
Oh,
history
06.
forsakes
I
me. My
remember.
bad.
I remember that race. It was one of my best two. It was my best 200. So,
Let's go. We're gonna cut to this 200 right
yeah.
quick. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see what we got. That was the other great white hope,
Andrew Rock.
Andrew Rock, and Mitch
We had,
Potter.
we had a lot of heat in this race. It was Tyree Washington, LaShawn Merritt's first U.S. championships, Daryl, Otis Harris. Trying to think who else. Just looking. Man, I forgot who else was in this
Tyree
race.
Washington.
Yeah, Tyree was in it.
Look at my man with the glasses and the chain. Talk to me.
Hey,
You
the
always got
glasses,
clean spikes.
the glasses always kept me focused on my lane, man. That's why I really wore them. My main goal getting out was to get to the top speed by 60 meters. I always kept the people in front of me in sight, and then on the back stretches, just kind of maintaining where I was at. I wanted to usually come around like 21 flat ish, between 20.9 and 21.2. And then really I was known for 2 to 3. So here I'm building into it. I didn't care where I was at the 2. I knew coming off the curve, no one was going to beat me from 2 to 3. I was always going to usually have the fastest split around there. And then that home stretch is just kind of just maintaining, holding on, and driving my legs down and getting my knees up a little bit. So, but I was always known for picking people off around that curve, where a lot of high school kids, they want to kind of like back off when they get to the 2 and save up. But Coach Hart always taught us that once you get to that 2, you got to start building up around that curve and working it a little bit more, using your arms. And I always, that was my biggest part of my race, was from 2 to 3 every year.
That boy swaggy.
And so
Get him.
I was skinny back then though, man. I was like probably 148, 150 at the time. And the biggest I got was 154 in my career. Until right before I retired, I was like 160, 161.
Well, I'll tell you one thing my coach told me. He said, when you retire, you're going to be in shape. Just remember round is a shape too. So don't even worry about that. We ain't going to talk about those times, but we ain't going to talk about that. We're going to stay focused. Yeah. So we went through 05, 06, like you said. I can tell you right now, we started off the year very well. I think you had a great performance. You got a random phone call from some guys, and you put together a 4x4, and you popped that year off with the world record, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man. That was you gave me a call late January, early February, around there, and threw out the idea of going for the world record in the 4x4 at the Tyson Invitational. And when you brought it to me, I couldn't pass that up. It was I was ready to run. I never ran indoors after I left college, and so getting a chance to kind of get a race in before outdoor season, and then just throwing one together last minute just to see what we could do. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Disappointed they didn't ratify the world record, but to throw 4 people on at the last second, not knowing where we were in our training, and still went 3:01 to break the world record. Man, it was fun. I enjoyed that meet.
And we beat the Baylor Bears.
We beat them. We beat them. We beat LSU. That was when LSU had the heat too. With exactly. Kelly Whitley was still there. Xavier Carter was on it. So we knew we had to run, because we weren't going to let these college kids beat us. That's the one thing about us. When we stepped on the track, we didn't care how fast they were running. We weren't going to let a college kid beat us.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely. 3:01.96 to go out there and do your thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you split a 43. And like you said, you weren't really, where you were in your training. So that was impressive.
Yeah, I think it was impressive. I think it was more like 44-2, but I'll take that 43 indoors.
Yeah, it was 43.
I'll take it.
The older you get, the faster it's going to get.
Exactly.
So just rock. Don't even correct it. Just, but in 5 years from now, I'm like, Jeremy split 41. Just let it go. Just look at me like, he's crazy. Don't even worry about it. We're good. We're good. Yeah. No, but definitely had a great career. I'm about to say indoors, outdoors, and we could go through all these highlights, Olympic Games. About what stands out for you, man? Out of everything you did in your career, like, give me some highlights, man. Because you won an ESPY award. I saw a picture of you on a motorcycle at Baylor where you were
man, that wasn't even that wasn't even mine, man. That was Daryl's. He just
you had some cool cars, but we'll stick to track. Talk to me,
man. Race wise, man, I think one of my favorite races was either Rome in 06 or Stockholm in 07. Those are probably my two favorite races outside of World Champs in 07. Like going into 06 at the meet in Rome. You were there. You were there. So like this story. We were at a press conference, and Xavier Carter had just ran 19.
He ran 10 flat. He ran 19.
No, he ran like 19 something out in Lausanne a couple days before that.
All in 1 week he did all of this. You're right.
And he at NCs that year he did the triple, and everyone's talking about he was the next best thing, and he's a scary athlete to run against. You gotta be in top shape. You gotta be ready to go when racing against Xavier. Press conference, man. That's all it was about was, XXX all that. And, I'm just sitting there like, dang, okay.
They acting like you weren't there.
Yeah, they were acting like I wasn't there. And the funniest part of this story is during the day before when we were doing our shakeout, me and you were talking, me, you, my manager, Daryl. I think Daryl was there. We were just talking, and I looked at you. I was like, man, I'm about to bust. Those were my exact words.
I remember.
And you looked at me like, I'm in this race. Like the look on your face, and that's the thing. Like when I start talking, I don't realize I had forgot you were in the race.
We all good,
and we were just standing there, and then you're like, "Dog, I'm in the race." I was like, and
exactly. That's exactly what happened. I'm like, I know, but you don't gotta tell me. God dang.
Yeah. So and then I went out there and he took out, but I had to and I slowly reeled him back in. From, like I said, from 2 to 3, he got out probably around 20.6, 20.7. I was sitting right at like 20.9, 21 flat, and then came off the curve. I was in the lead, and I just took off down the home stretch. Man, that's probably my best. That's probably one of my best finishes I had. Between there and Stockholm were my 2 best last hundreds I've ever ran in an open quarter.
Hold on, wait, before you move on, hold on, because you got your side of the story. Like you said, let me tell you mine. You go to a press conference, you come back, you fired up. I'm like, what's wrong, bro? What's happening? And you're like, man, they just act like I wasn't in the room. Like, what you mean? They talking to me like I wasn't there. Like they talking about X going. He's like, I'm about to bust ass. And I was like, yeah, wait, hey, bro, I'm in this race. And you were like, I know. I was like, damn. And then you were like, and guess what? What lane you in? I was like, I'm in 8. You like, not anymore. You're in 1 now. Right. And I was like, oh, I'm pissed off. That was the first time I ran a 400 hard. And I was about to say, I'll tell you this right now. To your point, X got out hard. I'm in lane 1. When we came off the turn at 300, I was in 2nd. And I was close to you. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then you took off. I was like, wait. Why does he still have this much energy left? I went from 2nd to 4th. In the last 90 meters, it got ugly. You did your victory lap, and I remember I was laid out on the track, and 60,000 people in this stadium. I'm laid out on the track. And then you were like, come on, man, get up. And I was like, oh, you just finished? You like, no, bro, I did my victory lap and everything. You embarrassing yourself. Come in the back and lay down.
Wasn't that your fastest race in the open?
Still 45-22. It's still my PR. And I beat Aline Francique, but he will not admit it. But I got him to back me up, so we on.
Yeah, we got results. It's documented. Exactly. It's documented. You can't back that. But
didn't you run? So you ran. Was that 43.4 or 43.6?
I went 43.6 that meet.
And then I think you ran Rome that like within the same amount of time.
So Rome was 43.6, but the next year in 2007 I went 43.5 at Stockholm, and then went 43.45 at Worlds. So that was the one that was kind of back to back.
What does that feel like? What is the difference between 43 and 44?
Honestly, and I don't know if you'll agree to this, but it felt easier. Like the faster I ran, the easier when I ran 45 low and 44 high, those hurt. But when I ran 44 low and 43s, those are the races that never hurt afterwards. I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it was just like the lactic acid built up more when you're running 45 versus 43. I know it's like 10 meters, but it hurt more. Like I felt worse after running 45s and 44 highs than I did running 43s. It's weird.
For somebody who hates the 400, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I believe you because we're friends and I like you. But I do not. That doesn't even make sense. I can't even process that. I only run 45. It doesn't even make sense. Like I hate the 400 because of how it feels. I promise you. Yeah. So if I run faster, it doesn't hurt as bad. What?
But did 45 hurt more than 46?
No, I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like I felt like I was.
Actually, yes. Actually, you're right.
Like I would lean over running 44 highs and 45 lows, but running 43s, 44 lows, I was able to just walk around like it was nothing. Maybe I was in better shape at the time when I ran those times. Maybe that's what it is. But like my first rounds at Worlds, even though those hurt, they didn't look like it, but those hurt.
That's insane. That's insane. All right, man. We're gonna skip past this because you got me PTSD with these 400s. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. All right. So I mean, you have a great career. You walk away with Olympic medals. You walk away with world championship medals. You walk away with records. I mean, you make money. You have family. Random question: do you still have the Jimmy Johns?
No, I sold that 2020 during COVID. So I was
Okay.
able. It when COVID hit, things were going that I couldn't keep employees. I was trying to coach and run the store at the same time, and it wasn't working for me. And so we ended up getting out. Ended up not actually making a little bit of money because of COVID, but got out of it, and now it's just I'm done with it.
And you have a wife and I think 3 beautiful children
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
My daughter's at Baylor jumping. She's a long and triple jumper out there at Baylor. So, yeah,
Oh, I didn't even. That's what's up.
yeah. So, and then I got
Okay.
two boys. One plays baseball and football. The other one, my youngest, plays soccer and football. So,
My man.
I'm all over the place. If I'm not at a track meet, I'm at a baseball game, soccer game. So, like this past weekend, I was at a track meet Friday, Saturday, and then a baseball tournament on Sunday. So
Man,
I'm
that's crazy.
all over the place. So
And so we talked a little bit. I know we stay in touch, but and
mhm.
I always mess with you and say you can't run from the limelight. You still a star. You're still a mega or superstar in this sport. You can't get away from that. So let's hypothetically, you still have
Mhm.
some things that you can contribute for sure to the sport, or at
Mhm.
least I believe so. What would you care to do? Dream job. If we're gonna find something for you to do in the sport, what would you love to do?
Man, I want to coach, man. I love just being under Coach Hart's wing and training under him, man. I saw how much fun he had coaching college, and I think that's kind of where I want to go. I love coaching high school. I love giving back to these high school kids, teaching them kind of what I was taught and give them this kind of like tell them stories here and there about our travels and our competitions and stuff like that, and how we worked to get to where we were. But I think at the end of the day, I think as I get older, I want to make the transition into college at some point. I want to be able to have opportunity to coach on a world team or an Olympic team and kind of help guide, mentor these kids and these young men and guide them and try and help set world records as much as possible. Yeah, I've had a lot of great college coaches, Coach Ford, Coach Hart, and then a lot of great Olympic coaches with Coach Williams and uh, Coach and Mouse out of Florida when he was on one of them. So just watching what these men are doing with these college kids, and getting them to run. I mean, nowadays they run in crazy times, man. It's ridiculous, and I just want to be able to be a part of that and help contribute to continue to get the Team USA back to where we were at one point.
What do you think about the current state of the 400 in the U.S.?
Man, I think we're behind. I think the rest of the world is catching up to what we were doing. For so long we were so dominant. Uh, at the least, we had only 2 medals. That was like a off year for us back in the day. It was we would only get 2 medals in the open quarter, and now we're struggling to make finals. We might have one guy in the finals. We might not have any, and I don't know if it's just the rest of the world is catching up to us and they're running fast times now, and it's just we're it's all even, or if it's some of the one thing I know with college is you got that long season going from January and then trying to run the games or worlds in August, September, and your body is dead. You got to be able to run rounds. It's not just one fast race. You got to be able to run rounds. And I think that's what Coach Hart was great at doing, was teaching us how to, or coaching us to where our body, we don't peak in June, July for U.S. trials. We run fast there, and then we reload from June until September, and then we're running fast in September still. I mean, my fastest times of the season were always at Worlds or the Olympics every year, even in '04. I mean, I had indoor season all '04, ran outdoor season, and then still was able to go out and run a PR and went 44 flat at the games after running 3 rounds. So I don't know what it is. I know it's there. We have the talent to be on the top and to win it. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping that it can change, turn around soon, and we can get back up there. But looking at the rest of the world, man, these guys are moving.
Absolutely. How about say, so would you accredit some of it to maybe some of our top guys switching events? I mean, you had Fred Curley who went from the 4 to the 1. You got Michael Norman who played around with the from the 4 to the 1 transition. You might have Rye Benjamin who's actually a 400 hurdler. I can keep going on and on. Yeah. So you think that makes a difference at all?
That possibly could make a difference. Like I think if Fred, I do think if Fred would have stayed and focused on the 4, I think he would have had a big shot at winning it. I think. I mean, he had one of the fastest times going into the games and ended up third or fourth that year, or was it Worlds? I forgot what year it was.
I think Worlds, I believe.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he just switched down to the 1 and the 2 and started dominating those two. But Fred has always been one that can run any event. You can throw Fred in any event and he's going to run it. Did I think he was going to run what he did in the 100? I knew he'd run fast. I never thought he'd run that fast.
9.7.
But 2.4, I knew he was going to run that fast.
I still give him crap about his 200 though. I think I don't think that's a good indicator of what he's actually capable of.
I don't either. With the strength he has from the 4 and the top end speed he has in the 100, he should easily be running faster than that.
19.5s, I think. Yeah, but that's another story. So at least.
At least, and I think he can run faster than 43.6. I really do. I mean, I don't know what he's going to do this year. I don't know if he's going to move up and run the quarter or if he's going to stay in the 1 and the 2 or try and go 2.4. But I mean, it's all up there for me. And I think there's some guys that run. It's just like back when we were running. There were some guys that ran the 1-2 that I thought could run the 4. You were one of them. I thought. I thought you would have been a good 2.4 guy. I really did. And I think nowadays, there's a couple of them that could probably do it. I think some people might not agree, but I think Noah could run a good 4 if he focused on it.
I got a little controversy behind that with his participation in the 4x4 from Indoor Worlds, but
I don't look at indoors, man. I never do. You can't. Some guys run better indoors than they do outdoors. My indoor PR is 45.3. I never ran faster than that ever. And that same year, I ended up running 44 flat. So, and then you got some guys that run 44 indoors, but they run almost the same time outdoor. So, some guys are just made for indoors and some guys aren't.
All right, I'm going to pick your brain about this real quick. We got Paris coming up this summer, Olympic Games.
Okay.
We're going to see, look, I'm going to give you some street cred right now. I need you to pick 1 to 3 people per event, 1, 2, 4, in the men's sprints. In the 100, who do you see winning the 100 if you can pick anybody right now?
I got to go with Noah.
You like Noah?
I like Noah. I think Christian's gonna battle there. But I think I got to go with Noah. I mean, he
still got Fred.
You still got Fred, but Noah proved it last year, man. And you look at his indoor time in the 60. His 60's gotten a lot faster than what it did. Lance knows what he's doing out there. He's going to make sure that he's on top by. I don't care what Noah does between now and the games. At the games, he's going to be ready.
I agree.
He's going to be ready.
You still have the U.S. champ in the 100. I'm about to say. People are forgetting about him as well. Craven Charleston. He beat everybody at U.S. He just got hurt. He got banged up going into World Championships, which is unfortunate. So,
yeah, no, man.
Sight to see.
The 1 and 2, man, that's going to be hard to choose. Do I think we could sweep them? I think there's a shot. I think so. With what Tobago's doing now, he's going to throw something in the mix. There's going to be
determined on what event he chooses as well, right?
Exactly. Like we were talking before, I think it's going to be the 1-2. If he runs the 4, he's going to have to the only thing he can double is a 4-2. 1-4 is not going to happen.
Doesn't make
sense. It's not possible. They run at the same times. He's either going to run the 1-2 or the 2-4.
So 200 then, since you brought it up, let me see. Is anybody going to dethrone Noah in the 200?
He could. There's a shot he could. I don't think anyone will. I think Knighton has a chance to. I think he's hungry. He's young. I believe he's probably tired of getting second. So he's going to be. He's been quiet. I think he's been quiet so far this year. I think he's going to come out and pop something and let the world know what he can do. Obviously, we know what he can do.
20 indoors as well, which is great for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, man, it's gonna be one of the ones to watch, man. The 1-2 is gonna be a fun races to watch this year.
And the Crown Jewel, the 400,
the 4, man, that's up there. I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends on what Tobago does. If he doesn't do it, I got to give it to Steve, to Gardner. I got to give it to him. I think Wade's gonna pop up there and do something. Williams from Georgia, he depends on how he looks throughout the rest of the season. I mean, running 44.4 indoors is amazing. So, if he can maintain that outdoors, I think he can go 43s. But it's going to take, I think it'll take 43 mid to win, 43.6, 43.7 this year. Man, I'm trying to think who else there is, but I don't know what Norman's going to do. We don't know what Fred's going to do. I think Norman's best race is the 4. I think he's a better 2-4 guy. I think he needs to go back. Personally, I think he should stick to the 4. So it's up there. I think I got to stick with Gardner.
Can USA win the 4x4?
They should.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Indoors is indoors. We don't have all our top guys running indoors. I think outdoors, when you put our top 4 guys at USA's, I think no one touches us. I don't see it.
Bring it home, fellas. You heard it here first. Here first. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, for everybody listening, thanks for tuning in. I'll say that first and foremost. But secondly, you heard it here from the man himself. If you're looking for a great coach to join your staff, I mean, the man, the myth, the legend is right here telling you he is looking forward to coaching collegiately one day. If that doesn't help bring recruits to the door, then y'all probably need to ask your AD for some money for some renovations to your facilities. Because I don't see how that's not doing. I'll just go ahead and be honest. And we hope to bring you back. Maybe we can get you back on, once the Olympic team is named, and maybe we can get some more insight into what we should expect going into Paris this summer. And always, my man, it was a pleasure on the track. It's a pleasure off the track. We're going to stay in touch. And thanks for tuning in to another episode. Anything else you want to talk about before we hop out of here?
Nah, man. Just thanks for having me on the show, man. Man, we've had a great friendship throughout these years, and man, I'm looking forward to getting back into working with Team USA at some point.
You don't want to talk about anybody wearing hats backwards or mask?
Nah, let's not go there.
Yeah, he still can beat us up. All right,
yeah, definitely.
All right, y'all take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Journey to Gold Zone podcast. Until next time, peace.